when I was 3 months pregnant, after Freddie was like rubbing on my belly and shit, we were in Australia. He was like, you probably got my little baseball player in there. Like, I love you so much. I'll never leave you. When I was 3 months pregnant, he was like, actually, I don't know. I think you should get an abortion.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like,
3 months.
My baby has arms, legs. We planned this shit out. Like, what do you mean you don't know? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not how it works.
What was the change of?
I have no fucking idea.
That's what I would want to know if I was you.
But me as a mother already, I was not about to kill my baby.
Right. Okay. It didn't even matter.
Get somebody else to do it. I brought this child here on purpose. Well, the baby was his idea.
Okay.
The baby, he was like, I want to have a baby. He took my father to dinner and told my father he wanted to have a baby with me.
So he's a true gentleman.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
When people look at this situation, I do not think that they're considering me as a human being.
Yeah.
I was 3 months pregnant with a child that I was super attached to, with somebody I loved very deeply, a child that we planned. Like, I was in the adult entertainment. I was doing porn while I was in my relationship with Freddie. I got off birth control, stopped doing all my boy-girl scenes, lost out on hundreds of thousands of dollars.
To get serious.
To get pregnant by this dude. Yeah. All for him to tell me, actually, I don't know. And mind you, this dude has 3 kids already. That he showed me that he was a good dad to these 3 kids. We took them on vacations. They were always at the house. I would never just, and people love to say like, oh, you knew who you were laying up with. But like, no, like that person I was laying up with was taking care of his children. I would never just lay up with a dude just to have a baby by him if he was a piece of shit father. He didn't show me that.
Right.
So I say all that to say, when I was 3 months pregnant, he asked me to get an abortion and I didn't do it. I did go to the clinic and I tried to do it.
But you couldn't follow
I could not follow through with that.
Wow.
They showed me my baby in my belly and they were like, we can't get a still image of the baby because it's doing backflips in your uterus.
Yeah.
But you're about 12 weeks pregnant. And I was like, fuck no.
Yeah, at that point.
I'll do this with or without you. You're weird as fuck for creating a life and then disappearing and saying you don't know. But that's something that you got to deal with. You can look on the internet and you can see that he made me his Beyonce. He loved the fact that I did porn. Benny even brought it up in their beef. He was like, yo, like she's sucking dick. Like Benny posted one of my porn videos. And it's so funny looking back now, like to throw shade at Freddie. And Freddie was like, oh, I been know my girl did porn. Like y'all some investigators though. Like he loved that I did porn. A lot of his fans are like, oh, well, you do porn. You really thought he was going to take you serious? Like he knew I did porn before we even got together.
Yeah.
They're just trying to tear you down.
I never hid my career from bro. He always knew that I did porn. So like,
it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't like you sprung that on him.
He knew when he was nutting inside of me over and over who he was fucking with. And one of his lyrics, he knew the job was crooked when he took it. Like he knew. So let's not pretend all of a sudden. And he's telling everybody like, it's not my baby. It's not my baby. Like
he tells you he wants to get an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
That shit had to hurt you.
It did. I was bawling hysterically. And this is really fucking crazy too. He had a few shows to do in Australia. He was rubbing on my belly. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stay the whole 2 weeks. I'm going to just stay for 1 week because I want to go home and like check on our baby.
Yeah.
I want to go to a doctor's appointment. When you get back to LA, like I'll come see you in LA. And so that's what I did. I went home. I flew home, went to my doctor's appointment. This is so fucked up. And I told him, I said, I just left my doctor's appointment. And he's like, and I was like, I saw our baby. And they said, they said that I was 8 weeks or something at that point. And he was like, sheesh, or something like that. Like he just had like a 1-word response.
Not the reaction he was looking for.
And I was like, because like I told y'all, like the baby was his idea. I was about to sign a contract with a major porn company. And he all of a sudden was like, no, I really want to have a baby. Like he was manipulating me, you know?
You think that could have been the play to kind of try to slow you down?
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying?
And when he got back from Australia and I met up with him in LA, I was supposed to be 10 weeks pregnant at that time. Because by the time the doctor told me I was 8.5 weeks when I got back from Australia. So by the time he got back from Australia, I was supposed to be around 10 weeks. Like if you do the math. And he comes home, we're downstairs talking about it. And that's when he first said the A word. That's when he was first like, I think you should get an abortion. And I just was like bawling hysterically. Cause like, how could you convince me to get pregnant and then tell me that you actually don't know? And I was like bawling, and he pulled me into his chest, and I was like, damn, at least he's giving me a hug. Shit. And he goes, it's okay. I know a place you can go. They'll take really good care of you.
Oh my God.
Like I told you, I'm very spiritual. In that moment, I was not talking to Freddie. I don't know who I was talking to, but it was not him. And it was kind of like he had this look in his eyes and like nobody was home. Like I'm like, you're a father of 3 babies. Like, how could you be saying this to me right now? Like, how could you plan a child and then just say, oh, actually, I just don't think so. Actually, just go abort it. Wait. And not only that, he said, go have the abortion. We'll try again in 2 years.
The fuck?
I was like, oh, you think I'm going to stay with you after all this?
So that's like,
so I went to sleep. I woke up. He had to go to Jimmy Fallon the next morning. And he was like, I'll come with you to the abortion appointment when I get back from Jimmy Fallon. I said, I'm not waiting a week for you to get back from Jimmy Fallon to abort my child.
You had to feel like a real piece of shit at that time.
I did. I felt like just waste. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I really don't want to abort my child. But if this is something you make me do, like, I'm not going to stay with you. I'm not going to continue to be in a relationship with you. Because you talked all of this talk and you got me pregnant and you picked out names and you told my father and you did all of this stuff.
Future baseball player.
You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up really having a boy. He always would say, our son, our son. Like, he really manifested this shit. So he's telling everybody that it's not his baby.
That has to feel crazy as a mother looking at your son thinking your father doesn't want you.
But you know what's crazy? When I look at my son, I don't think that. When I look at my son, I remember all of the beautiful times that me and Freddie shared together. Like, I really did have love for Freddie. I don't want nothing bad to happen to Freddie. You know, I talked to my father about it. I was like, Dad, like, how could you leave your child? And he said, honey, the only way you could leave your child is if you hate yourself. And I really do feel like Freddie hates himself. I really do believe that. You know, I stood 10 toes when he was getting beat up in Buffalo. And so the moment you get a chance to betray me, you take it and you betray your son. I don't even think I want you around. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to force someone to take care of their child. You know, people are like,
I don't feel,
you need to put him on child support and you need to. I was never with Freddie for money. Every time I went to fly out to see him, I paid for my flights. I was paying for his phone. Like, I paid all my own bills when we were together. I'm a very independent type of person. You cannot sit here and tell me that you love these other 3 kids and you're neglecting the 4th one. Because these 3 kids that you claim are going to grow up and hate you for not taking care of their baby brother. Yeah. They're not all going to be babies forever. Those 2 kids that you got out there are going to grow up and be adults like everybody in here.
Learn some things.
And they're going to have, you know, questions about certain things. And Freddie's kids are too. They're going to grow up and they're going to be like, why the fuck did you not take care of him? He doesn't think about those things. He's very narcissistic and only thinks about himself. And I wish I would have seen that.
Was he there while you had your son?
No, I haven't talked to Freddie in like a year and a half.
You had to go through that both of these times.
Yeah.